Whenever I have a person that comes to my office and they're accused or charged with a sex case and they're innocent and they proclaim their innocence, I can tell you that is both the most stressful situation as a lawyer, but it's also the most exciting. And the reason it's both is these are such monster cases. They're so hard because everybody in the world wants to believe a child. And you got to wonder, why would a child lie? That's always the first question from the jury. But I will tell you what I typically do when we pick the jury in these cases. I always start out talking to the jury and I tell the jury, personally, I have a 7-year-old. Somebody touched my 7-year-old, I can't imagine what I'd do to him. But you talk to him and you talk about there's nothing worse than taking the innocence of a child. Nobody would argue that. And everybody raises their hand. Yeah, Mr. Nelson, that's the worst thing that you can ever do in the world is to touch a child. And Lord knows I believe it. Like I said, I got a child. I got a little girl. But I'll tell them, and then I ask them, hey, I want to ask y'all another question. I want y'all to just kind of close your eyes and think about it. I'm going to tell you something that's not as bad as touching a child, but it's close. I want y'all to think about it. Imagine yourself accused of touching a child and you didn't do it. Pretty bad. Think about it. Changes your life on the spot. I don't care what happens. We could get a 5-minute not guilty that's covered by CNN and the New York Times. No matter what, that is an allegation you can't bounce back from. And that's why these cases are so stressful, because no matter what I do and how good I do it, it's going to splash on this person. Their life is going to change for eternity. So if I'm defending you on a sex crime, on a sex case against a child, the number one thing we're going to have to do is our complete diligence. We're going to have to know every allegation, everybody that was there at the time of the allegation, and on and on. And it's going to have to be documented out, every single thing, because all you can find, when there's an allegation, the hardest thing in the world to prove is something that did not happen. So the only way you can prove it is to show what else was going on when they said that thing that didn't happen happened. For example, I just finished a case 4 weeks ago, and what happened was there was an allegation that took place at an apartment over a weekend. I brought in every single person that was in that apartment from Friday morning through Sunday morning. And that was the only time any of this could happen. Every single one of those people described everything they saw, who was around, where they were, what room, what was happening. Ultimately, because everything this child was saying just couldn't have happened. Or if it would have happened, there would have been people literally sitting in his lap. And that's how you do it. That's the only way you can prove something that didn't happen, is show that people were there and just they were there where you're saying something went down. There were people there that clearly it couldn't have happened the way this child is saying. That's why it takes so much work on a sex case, because you have to just lay out the entire story, because you're not really saying something didn't happen. You're basically proving it couldn't have happened. And then there's always the situation where they have the wrong person. You don't see that as much as you used to, especially with DNA these days. That can tag you up pretty good. So if you're accused of a sex crime that you didn't do and you're 100% innocent, all it means is we've got to roll up our sleeves, get to work, and document every single little thing from any contact you've ever had with this child making this allegation. And that's how we get you the not guilty. No matter what you're charged with, it's so imperative that you get good counsel. If you need our help, let us help you.